3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B.
You are now tuned in to Butter B Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, the hostess with the mostest, Butter B Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today, but before I bring on my special guest, I want to thank you guys so much for pouring into me and my film. We have now been out for 7.5 months, and we are streaming on 24 streaming platforms. So thank you to everyone who has supported Finding the Perfect Guy that I executive produced, wrote, directed, starred in, and you know your girl put her own music in it. So I'm super excited about that. Also, we have announced all of our panelists, and we are currently announcing all of our filmmakers for our next BBR Indie Films, which is going to be on May 15th. We are already halfway sold out on the tickets, which I knew that was going to happen. And we're less than a month away. So you can go to bbrmediagroup.com to get your tickets, or you can go onto Eventbrite and search for BBR Indie Films and get your tickets, because it's going to be hot up in there. And it's my birthday, so you already know we're going to turn all the way up. So without further ado, y'all did not come to see me. Well, kind of. But you came to see this lady. She is an entrepreneurial powerhouse, a motivational speaker, an inspirational music artist, a film producer, and most of all, she is known as the MotivateHER. Can you please show some love for Tiana Von Johnson? Hello, Queen. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Good. It is nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
I was reading over your bio. First of all, the website. I mean, your branding is phenomenal. And yeah, it's serious with it. And I was reading over your bio, and I was like, wow, this young lady is doing some amazing things. You are definitely doing the doggone thing. So I'm honored to be speaking with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
No problem. So I like to dive right on in. Can you tell everybody a little bit of background about yourself, and then we're going to get started?
Absolutely. Well, first I have to start by showing some love to the Bronx BX Stand Up, where I'm from. And I like to say that proudly, because there was definitely a time where I was not repping the Bronx, okay? and really just because it was a place of pain and poverty. So for me, I know a lot of people always talk about where they're from, and it usually is that. And once I escaped it, I was like, oh no, I don't even want to think about it, right? But as I've grown, I've realized that it definitely shaped me. So just a girl from the Bronx who decided to go for it, build her dreams, go down this journey of entrepreneurship and figure out what that was, make mistakes along the way. When I was about 24, 25 years old, I quit my 9-to-5 six-figure job, tried my hand at entrepreneurship in the big city of New York. And just 1 year later, I generated my first $1 million. And so now, years later, I travel the world, teach entrepreneurs how I did it, help empower entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners and just women all over the world.
Okay, so we're going to pause. You just said a whole mouthful. At age 24, 25, you decided to quit your job and say, you know what, I'm going after my own dreams, right?
Yes.
And you created your first $1 million.
Yes.
By the age of 27?
Yes. So it was not easy. It was not easy. And I did it in a field that I did not enjoy. And the reason why I like to share that, I like to share that because sometimes you have to generate money not doing your passion. You know, people push us to a passion, and I do too. But first, sometimes you have to either jump on board with somebody else doing something to help you generate money, or do something that you don't like to do, like working a job, building wealth in other ways, just until you get the type of money to do the things you truly aspire to do. So yes, my first year, as a bona fide entrepreneur. Now, I think I was born as an entrepreneur, don't get me wrong. From the age of 6, 7 years old, I was that person that was selling candy at my school. I always had an entrepreneurial mindset. When I was 8 years old, my father would take me and my brothers to 125th Street in Harlem and sell records. So I was always out there moving and shaking and dealing with money. So imagine you're 8, 9 years old, you're dealing with money, transactions, making sales, putting items in bags and handing it to someone. So that was an experience for an 8-year-old, and it taught me how to sell. It taught me how to negotiate, and ultimately, it taught me how to hustle.
Wow. You know what? I just came back from New York, and that is always when you look in the street, especially in Times Square, people are hustling, and hustling is not a bad word. Some people make it sound like it's negative. People are using their talents to get that money and do what they got to do to put a roof over their heads, and I love it.
Yeah, people definitely think hustling is about swindling and getting over. No, hustling is that drive, that
Yep.
push, that to push you forward, to have you to understand that you have to do this. You have to make it happen for yourself, for your family, and for
Yep.
generations to come.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. So I want to know, and I'm sure everybody else want to know, how in the world did you make your first million?
So, how I made my first million was I tapped into the world of real estate. Now,
Mm,
I went down to Wall Street in New York City to go on a job interview to be a real estate agent. At that moment, I realized that I needed a part-time job to give me full-time income while I figured out what I was going to do in life. Now, by this time, I was already a single mom, trying to figure out life, trying to make things happen for myself. And I started as a real estate agent. And
wow.
see, it's about vision. And I like to share this because the average person would have went into that real estate office and did the work. What I call that is a zebra fixed mindset, right? So a zebra fixed mindset is I'm going to go into this job. I'm going to put my head down, do what they say, and just go on this journey and just kind of figure it out. Whereas a Libra mind walks in and says, okay, these young white men, 21 years old, are millionaires,
Hmm.
have this big office in New York City where they're paying tens of thousands a month. They have all these agents working, bringing them 50% of their money while they are sitting back in their office with their feet on the desk. They have brought me in to go out as a zebra, do the work, put my head down, and bring them 50% of my money. But this lioness said, I understand why I need to do that to generate some revenue. But what if I could be the one sitting on that desk with my feet up and having people go out and giving me 50% of their money? So it was when I walked in that door that I realized that, wow, they just gave me an idea, because it's a market for everyone to be part of the real estate world, right? It wasn't about me competing with them. It
Right.
wasn't me having vision enough to say, wait a minute, there is a room for Black women to be real estate brokers here. There's room for that.
Right.
And when I came up with the idea after months of doing deals and learning the game, I went to them because I didn't want to do it behind their back. And I said, listen, I love what you guys are doing, but how about this? Black woman, Wall Street, real estate broker. What do you guys think? They love the idea so much. They said, well, we'll partner with you. I said,
Wow.
whoa. So what you want to offer? They said, we'll give you $250,000. Now I'm from the Bronx. I didn't know what a quarter meant. I had to go figure it out, Google it, right? Once I realized it was 250,000, boy, oh boy, I started thinking about all the things I could do with that money. Remember, single mother, trying to figure it out, never had access to that kind of cash. So when you're in a position where you're faced with taking somebody's blood money,
Right.
like, what do you do? Because it looks good. But I also had that Master P mentality when he was offered $1 million record deal and turned it down. It was, if they would offer me 250, there's something that they see in me. There's something that they see. There's some potential that I'm showing that I'm worth that, probably more.
Right.
I thought it over. And trust me, every one of my family and friends said, take that money and run. But they have fixed mindsets. See, so when you go to people for advice, you got to be mindful, because although their advice might be decent, it's coming from their level and their mindset. So I knew my fixed mindset friends and family, and this is no disrespect. It's just where you are, right?
Mhm,
So I
mhm.
knew that they would give me fixed answers. See, when you go to fix people with questions, you're going to get fixed mindset answers. So I did, even though I heard them, I had to still think with this lion mentality. And I said, you know what, I'm going to turn it down. And when I turned it down, they fired me. And when they fired me, in that moment, I had a choice. get back on the train and go back to the Bronx and talk this over with my fixed mindset friends and family for the next 6 weeks?
Mhm.
Or do I make a different kind of decision and talk to a mentor or coach? I went to a mentor who was a friend of mine. I got his opinion on things. The spirit led me to asking him for a $50,000 loan, which he gave me. He also happened to be an attorney in New York, which as an attorney, you automatically qualify for a real estate broker's license. So within one block, a meeting with another lion not only got me a $50,000 loan, but it also got me the broker's license that I needed to at least birth the vision. Once I birthed the vision, now I got an office because remember, I had HR background for years. So I understood how to recruit. I understood how to bring people in. I understood policy and procedures. So I built my own firm, put my feet on that desk. And now I have people out there going out, making money and giving me 50%. And 1 year later, I made $1 million.
Wow. That's an awesome story. And you dropped so many nuggets in between that was like, I hope you guys are paying attention. Honestly, she just dropped a lot of great gems for you. I love that. All right. So looking back at your diverse ventures, what is one key piece of advice you would give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just getting out there?
I'm all about investing in yourself.
Mhm.
It happen. We're taught, even from school and college, to create a business plan, go into a bank and ask for money. So we're
Right.
taught from the onset to go look for somebody to give you something. I, with all my credentials and all my degrees, MBA, about to finish a doctorate, I've never written a business plan. In fact, let me take that back. I wrote one business plan to complete my MBA. But I've never written a business plan. Not that you don't need it. I know all my friends and people in business say, Tiana, you're crazy. Don't tell people that advice. The reason why I have to say that is because sometimes I feel like business plans keeps you stuck and not doing the work. You spend so long trying to create as opposed to just sometimes doing it. A
Right.
business plan could be you sitting down with thoughts, jotting down some bullets and making it happen. You don't have to get caught up in it. So my advice is invest your own money. Don't wait for anybody to give you money. Jot down some notes, jot down a simple plan, and just start executing, even if it's on a small scale, and eventually it's going to grow.
Yeah. When I was doing my first film, I come from the music side, and then I got injured, torn meniscus, torn ACL, dislocated my shoulder. That took me off the road from touring for a year. Then COVID happened, and so I had to figure out really quickly, what else can you do outside of music? And I always wanted to do a film. Well, I went to people that supported me on the film side, I mean, on the music side, but trying to get them to invest with me into my film idea, which I've never done a film at that point. They're like, yeah, we know you from music. We know that you've written a play before. You were successful with the play, but we've never seen you do a film. I said, okay, I put my own money up, did what I needed to do, and my film is now streaming on 24 platforms because I didn't wait for somebody. You have to believe in yourself and you just have to go for it. And like you said, you write down your plan, you work your plan. I do a plan, do review. If it's not working, then I move on to the next step. But it always unfolds and the right people come as long as you're putting forth the action plan.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Well, having built your real estate empire in New York City, are you still in New York City?
I am in New Jersey, so very
Okay.
close.
Okay. What is your current take on the market trends and advice for those interested in getting started in becoming a real estate?
Well, remember, I can talk about real estate all day. It's not truly a passion of mine.
Got it.
Definitely think that is something that people should do, even if it's a side revenue stream.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I'm not in it like I used to, it opened up so many doors once I got the money. So
Yeah.
the real estate money, I invested in my TV show, Powerhouse, which I was able to create a trailer with that money to get me a deal on NBC's Style Network. So
That's true.
I took that money and was able to invest in books and traveling and creating my own tours. So I tell people in my book, which I have a new book out called 7 Laws of Entrepreneurial Success, The Millionaire Mind Manifesto. And in that book, I talk about money chunking. And what that means is that you need chunks of money to do the things that you aspire to do, like films and different things, making it happen for yourself. So you definitely have to go get something like real estate that can bring you deals where you make $5,000, $10,000, because now you can use that to go do the things that you truly aspire to do. So in terms of market trends, I think that it's good. I think that people can get into it and still make money. I was less on the investor side. I was more on the sales side. So
Okay.
from the sales side and actually doing work to make sales, it was great. It was great for me when I did it. And it's still great. I still do deals occasionally.
Okay. With your experience as a motivational speaker and coach, what are some of the common challenges you see entrepreneurs face?
Whew, I can go on and on about this, but I'll say I'm gonna keep talking to the fixed mindset uh, team or people around you, friends and family. See, we usually are products of our environment or products of what our parents instill in us, which sometimes they have a fixed mindset. See, my
Right.
father was out there hustling, working, pushing, making it happen. He was an entrepreneur. So I followed that. My mother, on the other hand, was very much subjected to the system, Section 8, welfare, food stamps. You know, you can't make over this amount of money or you'll lose your voucher. You know, she was
Right.
fixed. So when you look at both sides of life, people that are saying, forget that, I'm not going to be subjected to that, versus I got to keep this in order to just maintain, you can really clearly see the difference in the minds. So,
Yeah.
for example, you might have an entrepreneurial woman that's out there in the world and she meets a Tiana Von Johnson. And Tiana says, listen, this is what I've done. Let me help you. Let me coach you. No problem. This sounds great. What's your rate? This is my rate. Fixed mindset automatically is that's too much. I can't afford it. Let me go talk to my friend. What do you think about her? Well, let me Google her and see. I found one bad review. Don't go there. Don't do that. Why do that? You can do it on your own. Hold on. If you was able to do it on your own, you would have been did it. If
Yep.
you were able to do it on your own, you would have been successful. I'm somebody with a true proven track record. Don't let one negative review stop you from getting connected to who's supposed to help you. You know what I mean? So I say all of that to say that I think most entrepreneurs' challenge is they get stuck in the fixed world that it's very hard for them to get out.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Absolutely. I worked with Les Brown for 8 months and got to see firsthand the way, like you said, some people really do have fixed mindsets, and then there's some that's just go getters, that's just always just going to go get it. But it was it was it was intriguing to see, even with some of the people, even after he gave them the tools and gave them everything, you still got to do the work, and some still didn't even do the work. And I was like, I'm blown away that you would, because you need coaches. I think that everyone, you should always go to someone who is doing something that you want to do and has been successful in it. That's how you grow, right? And but connecting with them or going to these conferences, going to all of these things and still not putting in the work and doing the actionable still doesn't benefit you if you're not going to do that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every coach is good either.
right,
But you
right.
do have to do your due diligence and you do have to do research, but don't get caught up in a fixed answer. All
Hmm.
I like to tell people is operate from a lion growth mindset, and that'll lead you so much further than the opposite.
Yeah, yeah. How do you stay creatively inspired across all of your various endeavors, from music to the board games?
Passion, passion for success, and what success means to me.
Hmm.
So success is not the dollar amount,
Hmm.
because I don't have $1 billion. And quite frankly, I don't want $1 billion. When I say that, people think I'm crazy. Success is when I hang out with you, I'm going to the gym and I'm going to take a class, and then I'm going to sit in the jacuzzi and I'm going to go into the steam room on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock, at
Yeah,
2 a.m., at 9 o'clock. Like, it's not, I do what I feel like doing.
yeah, yeah.
Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't even remember. This week is going by so fast. It was like a really nice day this week in New York. So you know how us New Yorkers do when some heat comes. I set out my jacuzzi stuff from the winter. I called up a
Mhm.
couple of girlfriends and we literally were outside barbecuing yesterday. Got a little cold. We doing a couple of mink coats. Yep, real bougie, bougetto. But I say that because It's about being able to do it during the week.
Yep.
It's about not having to wait for Saturday or Sunday because everybody gets off work. Everybody that was at my house, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And it was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's freedom, that it's the time freedom. It's the freedom. It's doing it for the passion, not for the money. And
Yeah.
then you get to a place where I feel like I'm retired. I'm
Yeah.
just doing what I enjoy to do and I happen to make money.
Yeah. Yeah. I can fully relate. I left corporate in 2007 to pursue my musical career. I didn't know that it was going to take me in other areas, but there is nothing like being able, my body wakes up naturally.
Yep.
And I do what I want to do when I want to do it. I can go on vacations when I feel like going on vacations, or I can chill at the house and do absolutely nothing.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know so many people that's like, or clients that's like, I got to see if I can get off work to come out. I got to see if I
Yeah.
get approval. Like, I'm not with that. Like being subjected to somebody else and I got to switch my assignment. I never like being boxed into that place.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I want to talk about your film project, Motivate Her. Can you tell us a little about that?
Absolutely. So most of the things that I do piggybacks off of each other, right? Also another tip. And I was in my kitchen one day last year and I said, you know what? I really want to do a motivational album. My brother was here. He does beats. And so, just two people just sitting down masterminding. He had what I needed in terms of beats and I had the what I wanted to say. And let's just say it was the perfect marriage. It started off just being a motivational album. I thought I was just going to go in there, drop a beat and put on and just talk to people. Because I am that girl from the Bronx and because I grew up around music, I was able to put a little swag to it, right? I got with some great writers and people that could really take my ideas and thoughts and put it to paper. And because I'm just a quick learner, I learned how to write my own music in real time.
Right.
As I'm writing my notes, I'm kind of getting this flow and this beat and I'm like, okay, that's great. And I never set out to be a rapper or a singer. I just wanted to tell stories creatively, like I do on the stage. This time around, I was able to go into the booth and actually create. So what started off as just being a motivational album with a couple of songs, true Tiana fashion, it turned into 18-track album document where every single song and interlude has a video that's connected to each other. I packaged that up into a 60-minute movie and was able to secure a deal with Amazon Prime. So I'm excited about Amazon Prime, Motivate Her, Volume 1 Therapy. But let me back up because I want people to understand. I believed in that before anybody did. It was different. It's unique. It's not normal. It's not what's going on. I'm not the Glorilla dropping a single or these new artists like a Saweetie or not. She's not new, but some of the other artists. I forget all their names. I don't follow those trends too much, but I'm not like a traditional artist that drops a single. I dropped everything on Amazon. And the reason why, I don't know if I want to give this. I don't know if your audience is ready for these tips. I'm gonna have to wait. But I'll give you one. I went the Amazon route because I did not like the streaming proceeds. It made no sense to me. And I hear every artist complaining about the streaming proceeds. And I'm like, so do it another way. Sell it yourself. See, I come from a place where I sell my books.
Right.
I sell my car like Master P. I can make more money selling this book from my car than putting it on Amazon. And, I don't mind the Amazon split, but I'll much rather sell it myself and make a bigger profit.
Right.
So same concept of putting my music and my film on Amazon where my split was a little higher than streaming, waiting for 1 million streams just to make a couple dollars. I wasn't about that life. But it morphed into something so major. I believed in it. I did 5 movie premieres on my own, full red carpet, full performances, didn't wait for anybody. And this was all before my deal. So
Right.
I believed in it and put my own money in it before anybody said yes, because I'm not looking for a yes, because really, I don't need an industry. I don't need anybody. I just do what I do. You get what I'm saying? And those who rock with it, they're going to come. So right now, with the success of MotivateHER, I'm actually planning motivational concerts all over the world. And whoever shows up, shows up. So maybe you can come out and do your stuff.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm really digging you. We have the same type of mentality. Like,
These are the kind of calls I get in real time.
yeah, yeah.
No, let's go ahead.
You have the same mentality of me. I don't wait on nobody to do nothing. You come, you come. I'm putting my stuff out there. I'm doing my shows. I'm doing my events. I'm writing my books. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't rock with it, yeah, I'm still gonna do it. So I love that mentality. Seriously,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. How do you balance, you're a film producer, you're doing music, you're doing real estate, you got all these different, you're motivating, I mean, a motivational speaker, you're doing all of these conferences and different things. How do you balance that with your personal life?
And let's not forget, I have a handbag line called therarebag.com. I have my own board game. I can go on and on. So personal life again. So let's separate the two. Personal life as in self-care. I'm 75% self-care, 25% work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted my life to be like that. So 75%, you'll catch me at the gun range, horseback riding, playing golf, going to the spa, going to the gym.
Right.
But my business or my books and things, that's also a hobby of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that I find joy in sitting down in my house with a glass of wine, writing a book. I find joy in that.
Right.
So the balance for me is so easy because what I do, I love it like it's a hobby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's like I don't have to go out. I don't party. I love doing what I'm doing in the comfort of my home. Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about relationships now that's like a whole different conversation. We might need another part two of the show because I can go there too. That is not an area that I am blessed in right now. I'll give you this. A couple of years ago, I found myself very successful, but at a place in my life where the type of energy, the type of partner was not coming. So I settled. And I like to be honest in what I share in that because I'm about truth. I don't do gray areas well. I do black or white. Perfect. It is or it's not, but not the gray. So to say it quite frankly, I settled. I was desperate. I accepted a broken man who broke me down to the lowest level of myself that I didn't know I needed to be broken down to. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I let a broken man break me down to the lowest level of myself that I did not know I needed to be broken down to. And this was not 10, 15 years ago. This is now. This is current. This is 2-3 years ago. This is when I was in all my success and in my glory. And I shared that because even though I had all this mindset and this great positive energy and traveling the world, writing books, doing games, doing bags, there was still a void. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we operate with a void, we operate from a fixed mindset. So although I was a lion in my business, I was very fixed in choosing a partner or allowing God to put a person in my life. And so I did not go to God. I went to Tiana, the Bible of Tiana Von Johnson, and said, God, or said, Tiana, can I have this? Not God. And I accepted it. And it ended up that I had my first exposure to narcissistic abuse. This was before the term became so popular. I had my fair share of living in it for 2 years and experiencing pure hell of that malignant narcissist. So today, after not sitting in that for 10, 15 years, like I see people do, I made a decision that you got to go. I got to run down this road of healing and I have to never do that again. See, I don't need to learn over and over again. I need to learn once. And once I saw the signs, I now know what to look for. So personally, I am more happy now than ever before because I don't, this is going to sound weird because it's not that I don't need or want. Like I understand why I would need to have a partner. I do want one. But right now I'm more happy enjoying my life and doing the things that I aspire to do and having the type of freedom that being single and happy provides. Because I was never single and happy. Today I'm single and happy. So I balance that. I balance that by enjoying life and making a decision to be abstinent and not mix my soul and energy up with a bunch of folks. And that's my personal choice. Ladies, you want to do. And that's really my key to balance. I don't know what the future looks like in that regard, but I love my personal life. I love what I'm doing, and I'm excited about what's to come.
Okay. Okay. I want to go back a little bit about the millionaire mindset. How do you help people unlock their millionaire minds?
So the first step to unlocking your millionaire mind is understanding who you are. So I like to take people on a deep journey. So, and I don't ever talk about it being like therapy, although I do lots of therapy with folks, because you got to unlock your mind before you even think you can become a millionaire or become successful, whatever that is to you. So it starts with understanding who you are. That's why I started this interview with talking about the Bronx. Once you understand who you are and you understand why you are and why you think the way you think, see, the Bronx gave me a certain mentality of, it gave me a certain fight that if you understand people from the Bronx, we have that because of our neighborhood. You're always looking to the shoulder. You're always making sure. So once you understand who you are, now let's talk about where you're going. Because if you don't have vision, if you don't see what this looks like, it's going to be very difficult for me as a coach to get you there. Because, you know, people talk about vision boards, but people don't really believe it. People do vision board parties, put a bunch of stuff on a sheet and let it sit somewhere, but they don't even really think that they can achieve that. So as I'm looking, you don't see this, but I have a vision board across from where I'm at. One is a vision board of all my success. It looks like everything from the big house, the big cars, which I have. It looks like cruises, which I'm planning. It looks like philanthropic giving, and it looks like what success is to me. Look, losing weight, got to get some of this weight off. But then there's also another vision board about love. So there is vision for it, right? Now you set the vision of what you want. That is your driving force to moving forward. So we are unlocking our minds by saying, this is what I'm going to be doing. Now let's figure out the steps. So, but we can't do any work until we open up that mind, because some people don't even believe making $1 million is possible in a lifetime. Can't see past their next paycheck. You get what I'm saying? So I got to help you see. But if you don't know, you don't know, right? So there's a woman out there who's been through something. She might be depressed. She might be suffering. She might not realize how impactful her story is. I'm the person that's going to unlock that and say, did you know that you can do a book? Did you know that you could do a film? Did you know that you could do a documentary? Did you know? Yeah. That's all part of unlocking their mind. No, I didn't know. I don't know how. Well, let me now show you the steps. So before I give you the steps, I have to unlock your mind, let you see the vision, and then help you carry it through.
Okay. I want to talk about your board game.
Absolutely. So the vision board game is, so let me back up and share something with you. Okay. Now I'm getting into my teaching, but this thing right here is an apple, right? I teach this red apple theory all over the world. And what this red apple theory is how do you become a red apple and a basket full of green? So if you could picture that, this is in the center and you have the green apples all around. How do you become that red apple? Well, that red apple is what makes you amazing, what makes you wonderful, what makes people say, wow, when you share something about yourself with them. Most people suppress their red apples like this. What that means is, I have some greatness, but I'm not telling anybody. I have some greatness, but I'm not going to share it with the world. I've been through something that was so mind-blowing, but I can't share it because I dare not. People suppress their red apples, meaning their gifts. Right. That's all this really is. So how do you make people wow with the red apples that you have? Well, about a couple of years ago, I wanted to write 20 books. Not because I wanted to sell 20 books, but because I wanted to add a red apple. So when people say, Tiana Von Johnson, she has over 20 books, people go, wow. Right. Now, it doesn't mean they're big old thick books now, okay? I just got to write 20 dissertations. But it's that one line that I can stand before you and say, I'm an author of 20 books. Wow. So in working on my red apples, because I do it quite often, I said, what can I do this year that's going to wow people? What is it? I always look for things that's going to make, when I say I have this, people go, wow. And it was a board game. And I sat down with a sheet of paper and some pennies, I thought about my favorite game, which is sorry. And I said, well, I don't like to be sorry. I want to be successful, but I love
Mhm.
the game. So I recreated the game and I teach people how to get to a place of success by following my brand strategies. So you're actually going around the board to get to success, following all my strategies. And it's a great game. It's a true board game. And I'm proud of it. And with creating that board game, I was able to add another red apple and leverage that. And now I sell board games all over the world.
I love it. I love it.
See,
I
I'm
rock
giving,
with
I'm
you.
giving y'all lessons, okay? People pay me for this content, this information, but I'm giving y'all lessons because I love Butter Bee Rocker.
Yeah, I'm rocking with you for real. For real.
It's transparency talks, right? We got to be transparent.
You got to be transparent about it. Um, okay. What is next for you? You got your board games, you're doing your motivational speaking. I know that you talked about you're going to start doing a concert series.
Yes, I'm going to be doing a concert series. Still working on all the logistics, but I envision a motivational concert
Mhm.
where we're not only just getting turned up to Sexy Red, right? No offense, no disrespect. She has her audience, but there's an audience of women, men too, that we don't really want all of that. We just
Yeah.
have grown folks time. We
Yeah.
want to have real serious conversations, but we also want to enjoy ourselves. So I see a motivational concert series and an expo where people can come together. I'm big on entertaining. I've been running my women's conference, Women Doing It Big, for over a decade, where I bring in the band, I bring in the DJ, I bring in fun. I shared this on my Facebook recently. I said, most people don't go to conferences anymore like that because they're boring. Okay.
Mhm.
And so I'm about fun. I'm about being in my 40s and still able to have fun and turn up. But I don't necessarily want to talk about certain things or have to turn up to all of that every time. And
Right.
it doesn't mean that I don't listen to it or rock to it here and there, but it's just I just want something more inspirational and more motivational at times, and that's what this motivational concert series is going to be about. So I'm doing that. I also do the Master P Masterclass. So if you rock with Master P and his business mind is an icon. I am the host and producer of the Master P Masterclass. So we'll be in Vegas coming up. You can go to masterpmasterclass.com and join us where you're sitting next to Master P
Oh
in a
wow.
space where he's actually teaching you his 5 P's to wealth. So, but it's about proximity. It's about getting in the room. It's about showing up.
Hmm.
So I'm doing that. So there's so much more to Tiana Von Johnson, but that's just some of the things that's coming up and pushing my book, 7 Laws
Okay.
of Entrepreneurial Success.
Okay. Well, we had someone ask where they can find the game, but also people want to know how they can book you, how they can get your books and everything else.
Absolutely. So you can go to my website, tianavonjohnson.com. Everything is there for you to book me, all my products, all my merch. Everything is there. And thank you for even having interest in what I say. I tell people I have no script. I'm just talking from my heart as I'm here with you guys. And I really, really, really just want to thank you.
I appreciate you coming on to the show, dropping so much gems for everybody, and I really hope that people took notes on what you were saying. We have some people that said that they rock with the Master P business brain and everything. So that's really cool. And I just want to sincerely thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, with that, everybody, we are out of here, and we will talk to you guys later. Tiana, you stay on for a second, but we out of here, y'all. Peace.